All right, so when you encrypted, this right here is what you should have gotten with the Vigenere cipher using pizza as the keyword. Okay, so what I want to talk about in this video is a much faster way of doing it than what we were doing before, which is to use what's called the Vigenere square. All right, so we're going to look at a Vigenere square and try and figure out how to encrypt the letter L. First, let's just stick the pizza up here. Okay, just so we have it there to reference as we're going through all of this. Okay, so if we are going to encrypt the letter L, we know it's supposed to turn into an A. Okay, what we have is something called the Vigenere square. So this is the Vigenere square. It's got all of the letters down the side, and essentially each of these rows is the alphabet shifted by the amount according to that letter. Okay, so with A, there's 0 shifts. All right, so you just get the alphabet. B corresponds to shifting the alphabet by 1. And so that's exactly what you get. C is shifting by 2, so that's what you have here, and so on and so forth. All right, so this is really nice for encrypting. And this is how it's going to work. All right, so for encrypting, first, find the plain letter row. All right, so we're going to find the plain letter row, L. Okay, part 2, move to the column of the key letter. All right, so the letter in the keyword. So in this case, that is P. So we find the plain letter in the row. We move over until we get to, we move over until we get to P. All right, and we find that letter, and what letter do we find? A. That is the letter we're going to encrypt to, and that's exactly what we did. All right, so let's do it again. For this one right here, we want to encrypt U. All right, so we're going to find the U row right there. We're going to move over to the ith column. All right, so U is going to move over to the ith column. All right, and we see the letter that we get there in the corner is C. All right, and that's exactly what we got in our encryption. So we'll do one more just to demonstrate how quick this can be. We want to encrypt encrypt N with the key letter Z. So we look for N, and we move over to Z. It's going to be the very last one. And the letter we get is M. All right, and that's exactly what we should have found there. So encrypting is really very easy. It's just find the row, move over to the correct column. All right, and so the last step here is the letter at the intersection is the encrypted letter. All right, so having this Vigenere square, which is going to be on canvas, it makes it very easy to encrypt using the Vigenere cipher. In addition, we can decrypt using the Vigenere square. So let's say that we have the keyword help. Okay. And we have the cipher text P E X Q P K. All right, so there's my cipher text. All right, and I'm going to write help underneath here, okay, until I run out of letters. and I want to decrypt this. All right, so how do we do that? Well, the first step is to go to the key letter column. All right, so we're basically just going to do the opposite of what we've been doing. So our first step is to go to the column of the first key letter. All right, so we're doing this right here. So our first key letter is H. So we're going to go to the H column. All right, and then the second step is we go down to the encrypted letter. Because remember, the encrypted letter is always here in the body here. So we're going to go to H and move down until we get to our encrypted letter. So our encrypted letter is P in this case. So we look at H and we keep on moving down until we get to P. And then we look at that and figure out, okay, what row is that? That is the ith row. So P is going to decrypt into the letter I. All right, so our third step is then find that row. That is the decrypted letter. Okay, so let's do the next one. We're going to look for the key letter E. All right, so we're going to go to the E column and go down until we find E. All right, so E column, down until we find E. That was easy. All right, that row is A. All right, so E in this case is going to encrypt to A. All right, let's do it one more time. L, and I want to decrypt X. All right, so L, I want to go down until I find X, move over, M. M. All right, so I will let you have fun decrypting the rest of that. It's just something really silly. But hopefully you get the idea of how to use this Vigenere square to both encrypt and decrypt a letter. While it is certainly possible to use our software for this, when you start trying to hack into the Vigenere cipher, you don't want to keep going to the software just to encrypt or decrypt one letter. That's going to be a bit of a pain for you. So you want to be able to use this Vigenere square to encrypt or decrypt one single letter as you start guessing, okay, well, I think E goes to this letter, I think Z goes to this letter. Hopefully you can have this in your back pocket. You can do some encryption and decryption by yourself for a short piece of text. And the next video we're going to look at is going to talk about how to actually start hacking into this Vigenere cipher.